Hi, I'm Katherine, the founder of The Only Consultant and Prisma Tax Group. I specialize in tax preparation and accounting for sex workers and creators of all kinds. Thank you for tuning into Cash Content and Chaos, the podcast where money, entrepreneurship, and real life collide. Listen in to learn, laugh, and realize that you're not alone in figuring it all out. So today we are here with the one and only Crissa Parker of the Dancers Resource. Crissa, thank you so much for being here.
Of course. Thank you for having me. I'm flattered.
Yes. We are out here, you guys. We are at the Peninsula Beverly Hills recording this on an iPhone, again with Apple wired headphones. This is very authentic, real life. So, Crissa, this was your idea to come here. Why the Peninsula?
I just like the atmosphere. It gives like old school New York, I like that.
Yes, it is very vibey in here. We're out here on a Thursday afternoon.
Is that Thursday? It's Wednesday, darling.
You guys, it's actually Wednesday. So the name of the podcast is Cash Content and Chaos. So you have all been warned that this is going to be a hectic time. So correction, it's Wednesday. I don't know what day of the week that you're listening to this. Maybe it's a Wednesday for you too.
You're watching it on a Thursday.
Yeah, Wednesday or Thursday. Nice. All right. So, Crissa, I want to first talk about you, the individual. Okay. So, if you're in the industry, you are likely familiar with the Dancers Resource app, and we're going to get into all of that. But I want to talk about you, the person, first. So, tell us about yourself.
Well, oh my gosh, I'm going to be 37. I will say this is the first time I've felt like the age I'm turning. So, I know, isn't that interesting? But yeah, I live in LA. I work a lot. I enjoy my life, and I'm very thankful.
Love it. And you are a founder. So how did you become a founder? What chain of events led you to starting your own app and tech company?
Well, a long time ago, no, I used to dance. And I realized that when it came to just the things being fair and transparent within the industry, we were like grossly neglected as service providers. And I was traveling, I was going to different places, and I would like go and ask if people were hiring, and they would be like, yeah, we're hiring. But it would be like, a different type of club. And they would be like, oh, we already have your look, or whatever it may be. So obviously, if you're in the industry, like you can't really call the police on just for like discrimination. You can't really like file anything with HR. So I decided there needed to be a sense of social awareness and like accountability within the industry. But I will say, when I first thought of it, I was concerned about commercializing it. No, not commercializing it. The backlash of people thinking that it would be commercialized. But then through cultivating it a little bit more, I realized that's further feeds into the notion that we don't deserve protection or visibility,
Yeah, I want to take a step back here. Is there like a turning point? Was there like a moment, a lightning rod when you were like, that's it, I'm starting my own business. Like, this is the straw that broke the camel's back. Like, this is my moment. I'm going out on my own.
Not necessarily, but I do remember being at the club one time, and like, so I have it's like dyslexia, but with numbers. I forget the name of it, but like I always had problems. Even dyslexia, like you can kind of tell sometimes with comments like on Instagram, like I see, but like I always had trouble remembering dance prices. Okay. And everywhere I would go, like it was just I always just had issues with like remembering things or like remembering things correctly. And I remember like hoping, like there being a moment where I was like wishing, I was like leaning up against the bar on my little bikini, and I was wishing that I had something that I knew from the inside out and that I fully understood. And I remember that moment, and I feel like I felt it, like I owned it and I had it. And I think that was like manifestation, but I remember that moment. I started pursuing it full time when I got like ripped off by a club, and my boyfriend at the time was like, I'll support you and then go ahead and pursue your app. So, yeah.
Okay, love it. So when was the leaning at the bar moment? How many years ago?
Oh my gosh. I think I was like 23.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so this has been in the works for a while then.
We've been around for 8 years. So,
okay. Love it. Okay, and then what is the first step? So you go from dancing to starting an app. How did you even know where to start?
I didn't, and everybody that I spoke to about it laughed at me.
Ha.
So what I did was I incorporated the company. I think dancing just like opens up a side of your brain that is like escaped the matrix. You know what I'm saying? So you don't do things according to like the way you're supposed to do them or the way everyone else does them. You do things according to the way that gets you the results that you need, you know? So I incorporated my company and then I went to Cal State Fullerton and joined their internship program and I brought on some software developers and we designed it.
I love that. Okay, so we're getting a peek behind the curtain, you guys. This is a little peek behind TDR. So very interesting. Okay. So do you think that your experience dancing prepared you at all for entrepreneurship? What are the similarities and what are the differences?
1,000%. The accountability factor is there times 10 with entrepreneurship because you're paying other people.
Hmm.
With dancing, you're accountable for what you bring in, for what you save, for what you invest, for what you do with it. It's not like a paycheck that you're going to get every 2 weeks. Well, some places, but even then you can get tips, you know? And even then, being in this industry, you're a hustler. Like you figure it out, you know?
You're a hustler and you're driving everything. Nothing moves unless you're doing.
Your potential and your power.
Oh, I love that. I agree. Yes.
Exposes you to it. It exposes you to the possibilities. No joke.
Yeah. I always say that being a founder is a spiritual experience. People are like, oh, how's your business? I'm like, it's a spiritual experience. And they laugh. I'm like, no, I don't. Let me say that again because I think you missed it. This is a spiritual experience. Like, I personally have been pushed to boundaries and limits that I never thought possible. And I know we've talked about that a little bit amongst each other. So can you speak to that, how it's like a spiritual?
I think it's just like having it one day, not knowing what you're going to do, but knowing there's a big picture and it's still coming through and it's still happening by the skin of your teeth, whatever it is. Like, you're like, how did this happen? And I think if you can fall into that space of knowing it's going to be okay, you'll be amazed you'll be amazed by the way things work themselves out, but a little bit, you'll worry less. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, just have the trust and keep the big vision
Yeah.
in focus at all time. Yeah. Yeah, I hear that and I agree. So tell us what the Dancer's Resource is. We all know your Instagram, but this is much more than industry memes. Tell us what you're doing.
Yes. So we have an app, like we mentioned, and it allows dancers who are paying to work at these clubs, even those that are getting paid by the hour now in certain states, it allows dancers to rate and review the clubs that they're working at. So not only does it allow them to share their experience so other people don't go through it, but it allows them to use their voice, create an industry standard. Oh my God, that drink is like...
We got some good drinks, you guys. Just give us a moment, please.
No, it created an industry standard, but then also like it allows dancers to know their options, you know? What may not work for an Asian girl in this area she may do amazing in this area. And how is she going to know that unless a Black girl is like only Asian girls make money here, you know? And it creates an ecosystem in a sense.
Yes. Love it. And it's a safe place for everyone to talk.
Yeah. And I think also I think knowing your options, it eliminates that aspect of being stuck to your personal network, you know? And that's like, I don't know if you want to talk about like the other, what we're doing. Okay. So what we have is, that has led us into developing the syndicate systems. So it's essentially the software allows what we did with the Dancers Resource and like the strip club industry, we're able to do with any freelance industry, which is allowing it not only does it ensure work, but it allows them to book work real time, rate the places that they're paying to work, because as independent contractors, you're paying your own taxes. So you're creating that industry standard. If a company as a driver takes 5 months to pay, that's unacceptable. You're able to rate them. So that accountability leads others to getting paid quicker and on time. It creates that industry standard. So we're doing it with light hauling, the beauty industry, textiles, event staffing. It really can go on. It can also eventually, like down the pipeline, allow industries such as serving to have options where if they're not able to get hours in this specific restaurant, they are at the scale where they can work at another restaurant at that level, assuming they know the menu and learn, but that's stuff that they're able to learn through the app.
Love it. So you're really empowering. Yeah.
Work.
Okay. Very good. So you have founded a company initially that serves the adult industry.
Yeah.
What kind of judgment have you faced trying to scale this business as it relates to working in adult work? Have you ever felt like tax season was designed to make you stressed? Let's face it, your income doesn't show up as tidy as a W 2. Instead, it's split between cash, apps, and constant fees. Whereas most accountants see this as chaos, I in fact know that it's my expertise. Here at The Only Consultant, we meet you where you are and transform confusion into clarity and confidence. The Only Consultant specializes in accounting for sex workers and creators. I designed this firm to turn tax season from panic to power, giving peace of mind to hustlers like you. We help you stay organized, feel confident, and remain in control of your money with judgment-free support and simple systems. We handle all the complicated stuff such as tax prep, bookkeeping, and compliance support so that you don't have to. The result? The feeling of empowerment that comes from being fully in control of your bag. You don't need to wait until April. You can go ahead and start today. Simply go to theonlyconsultant.com and book your consultation now, because peace of mind should be part of your hustle too.
So 90% of investors will not respond.
Won't even respond?
Once they find out that you're in that industry or you represent anything. Because essentially it's a liability if you really think about it when it comes down to banking. So I think, which we won't even...
That's a whole other podcast, you guys. We can't get into the banking discrimination, but
I think, because that's something that OnlyFans, I spoke with the founder of OnlyFans, not the one who owns it now, but the actual creator. And this was like maybe 2017, I want to say. And I was trying to pitch him for TDR, and he was saying how they were trying to get away from adult content because of banking.
Yeah.
And that they were trying to get more into live events like boxing or stuff like that, like sports events where they were going to hold them. Obviously it didn't work because you can't turn your back on your bread and butter clown show.
No, they tried. They tried once. But you know what? OnlyFans is not at any of the adult conferences. They are nowhere to be found. There is not one OnlyFans booth. So even though they're making billions off of adult content, they're still, not really advertising for it.
Yeah. And also don't even get me started. No, because it's it gets so complex, and you just, as a business owner, you want to be careful. You want to be careful with what you expose yourself and your business to. Mm-hmm. And we're living the day where you really have to be accountable for what you say.
That's great advice. That is great advice. Moving on. Okay, so we talked about the product itself and how it's grown. How are you scaling currently? I've seen on your stories that you are taking on investors, so giving dancers the opportunity to buy into your business and be part of new tech.
Yeah, it's definitely not the conventional route. But when I first came up with TDR, it was something I wanted to be able to offer, which is insane. I had these glimpses of where we could be one day, and I'm living it today, But that's not even close to where we want to end up. I wanted to be able to offer a long-term return on the technology for women that use it already, because we are a company of the community. 2 years ago we designated some shares, and we put together, we called it the Owners Club, and the shares are designated to give a high return long term. And right now we have dividends that we distribute quarterly at 4%, and it's just we started at $2,000 a share. Okay, right now we're at $3,200 a share. So, and the owners are able to sell their shares at any time. We've had less than 4% want to sell because they see what we've done for the industry, and they see where we're going. So it is the most humbling. I don't know. It's humbling, but it's I cannot fuck this up. I have to do this. Yeah.
It's a real accountability. Yeah. But it's beautiful. How beautiful that other people share in your vision and believe in it. It's
crazy. So no, it is and then, when people ask questions, I'm you can sell at any time. And what we actually started doing, which people are you're insane. But it's just my way, because I'm not, I said, money for me is just freedom. I'm not the type that needs to stack and like create mountains of money. Like for me, it's freedom. I grew up with nothing. Like I want freedom, I want safety, and that's it. So I'm not opposed to like spreading,
Mhm.
the wealth. So what we're doing is like our initial shareholders now are able to, with this round that we reopened, they're able to buy those shares at what they originally bought in for. Yeah.
Amazing.
So we have people that bought in at $2,000. And it's like they have to hold for a year, obviously. But this is just like, because that's the pickle that we're in. And it's like, okay, you know what? You scratch my back, I scratch yours.
That's business.
Yeah, bottom line. And I'm thankful to do it with women all over the world that share like we're like-minded. Like there's a girl in her name's Bree. Shout out Bree. She owns businesses in Australia. And just to get her as a business owner and like founder herself with her own company in terms of like just everything, she has her brand going. It's so inspiring to have that conversation and like people get it, that also understand the industry. I think years ago, even before us, I was like, when it comes to business, I try to be humble, but no, like I put the fucking work in. Even before us, like it's hard to meet women. You're a joke if you're in this industry. Now, these women are like, even with OnlyFans, they're leveraging it and building substantial businesses, that affect the economy.
It is changing the economy and they're building generational wealth.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. And it's like, okay, you can shy away from it and pretend like it doesn't happen. But at the end of the day, like the numbers don't lie. This industry brought in almost $8 billion last year. And we're the only app in the entire world for them, literally for them, that isn't working with clubs or anything like that, just for them.
I literally have goosebumps.
It's insane, right? So
Yeah.
it hasn't been easy, but it's like anyone that sees it and then sees the value that we provide. Like we came into the tech game with a solution. Like we weren't, you know what I'm saying? Like we came because it was needed. And now we're able to see where it's needed in other industries. Like,
While you're still maintaining the Dancers Resource app and the community that you've built, which is very strong. And I want to speak about the brand and the socials. What is the inspiration for the brand? Tell us about your socials. How are you finding people to use the apps?
so I think when I first started the app, came up with the app before starting the Instagram. The Instagram was for the app,
Mhm.
But I knew the value of like getting it out there. I used to search the hashtag stripper or this, that. I would search the hashtag and then I would DM every single girl and be like, I have a survey. Would you mind filling it out about your club? And I would email it to them and they would email it back. And that's how I started building the database. So it was like very like, man, it was
It's
there.
real work. But
Yeah.
this is what we're talking about, founding a company. You had an idea, you pulled it out of thin air, and you had to do all this legwork to get it what it is today. Like now it's a big, beautiful Instagram. It is the Dancers Resource Hub. It is trusted.
I think with this demographic specifically, representation is so important. Any demographic that is like considered a minority or considered taboo, representation is so important because it brings safety. It's good to know that you're not the only one. You know what I'm saying? I think it's really easy to fall back and isolate yourself. So I think we help make it safer, So they exist. Sex workers exist. These women are like 1 in every 4 or 5 women these days, I would say. What do you think?
Probably something like that. I don't know the stats, but it's much more common and mainstream than it has
Yeah.
been.
Women that only date men for money. Like, come on, it's all the same shit. It's all the same shit. So I think like, it's like wildfire. Like you catch on and people just like relate to it.
Hmm.
And whether they follow it or not, they get like the numbers are still there, they show.
Yeah. So it's the full brand and the data behind it too. But I know for sure that a lot of clients, respect your page, are looking to you as a voice of authority and for what's credible. And do you feel like there's any pressure on you individually as far as creating that space?
In the beginning, okay, I know this sounds like maybe holier than thou, I don't know, but when I took my ego out of it, it allowed me to like open the floodgates because when you post something, you have your own objective to it. Not everyone's going to agree with what you're saying. but you have to create that safe space where everybody can come and discuss respectfully. And that's what helps it grow. So you can't be, spitting your point of view, because what are you trying to talk people out of? You're trying to get traction, So you cannot be personally attached into it. You have to let people have the space to say what they want, whether you agree or not. That's like big.
Very wise. So you created the platform and the space, took yourself out of it, and you're giving it back to.
You rarely see me. Like,
it's true. That's why I want to talk to you. Like, that's what I'm saying.
That's the secret, is to a lot of people make the mistake of making themselves the center, and that only adds to pressure. That takes away from performance. I would think, if anything, it's you want to look this me. I'm so vain. I can't, I have to do this. I could not do it. I could not handle it. I need to feel good. If I look a hot mess, that's fine. As long as my work is getting done, I need to do it. If I had to be present, nothing will get done. I'm picking myself apart,
And you found something that works for you that you can actually sustain as well. And how long have you had the socials now? Also 8 years.
Yeah, 8 years.
Does tax season leave you anxious, sorting through receipts, or worried you've missed something important? You're not alone. And that's exactly why I created the only consultant in Prisma Tax Group. My goal is to meet you where you are and give you judgment-free solutions that make financial management simple, clear, and stress-free. At The Only Consultant, our services go beyond just tax preparation and filing. Taking the confusion out of money starts with the basics, aka education and bookkeeping. We can track your income and expenses, which means you'll never have to scramble for receipts ever again, and you will fully understand what is going on. Additionally, I offer monthly subscriptions and ongoing guidance. With monthly support, you'll always have an expert in your corner, giving you real-time answers, steady organization, and the peace of mind that lets you focus on your hustle and not the paperwork. We specialize in tax preparation and filing for sex workers and creators. When it's time to file, I handle your federal and state returns, maximize your deductions, and make sure the right forms get submitted for your unique income streams. The benefit? You save time, avoid mistakes, and walk into tax season feeling confident. Last but not least, we provide compliance and business consulting. So whether you need help setting up your business, staying compliant, or navigating something intimidating, I've got you covered. Instead of second guessing, you'll feel confident, supported, and ready to grow with someone who understands your hustle. And here's the best part. You don't have to do it all. You can choose the services that fit your needs right now, or let me and my team at The Only Consultant handle everything from start to finish. Either way, you will receive the clarity, respect, and financial confidence that you deserve. So if you're ready to feel in control of your finances, whether it's this tax season or all year round, head to my website, theonlyconsultant.com, and click contact. Or you can always find me on social media, Instagram and TikTok at _only_consultant. Click the link in my bio and contact me there. We look forward to meeting with you. Amazing. Amazing. And social media is having a moment right now, but that is also another podcast.
Yes.
Hello, who you talking to? I know. That's what I'm saying. It's it's the Wild West right now. All right. So
rebranding, what are you going to do? What do you think?
I don't know what I'm going to do, guys. If you didn't know, my Instagram got suspended and banned in late May once Meta changed. I don't know what they did. They got something with AI right now.
They just caught you on something. It's your face. That's what I'm saying. You cannot show. Mm-hmm.
It's too late for me. Well, my face has been unbanned. However, that doesn't mean it won't be banned again. But that is something that I really thought about. I created a new account, new phone, new number, whole number.
You to try to verify to get money. Imagine.
I think it is some kind of game. I mean, they definitely know the industry that I serve, the industry that I'm adjacent to, my followers, the community that I interact with every day. But yeah, that was humbling. And that's the main reason why I'm doing this podcast right here on an iPhone at this restaurant, because I just need to get content out in a different way. Can't rely on it.
That's the beauty of social media is Lord forbid, honey, let me knock
on everything.
Literally. But there's multiple platforms that allow you to get that traction. Like TikTok, you can get so much traction. Instagram, and also there's a small little part of what's for you will be, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I think it's easier to believe that, but you have to put forth your effort, obviously, but you can build up on so many platforms. You have to simultaneously. It's hard though to keep up. Girl, it's hard.
I hear you. So what do you have going? So you have a TikTok, you have the Instagram, you also have a newsletter.
So what I did was I just clip farmed which whatever that is. I think I'm saying it correctly.
Ah,
But I just clipped our podcast, and that's what I put on TikTok.
okay. Okay.
Yeah. And that's what brings in you'll see our TikTok as all podcast clips.
But that's a strategy. And that's low risk. I mean, depending on what you're talking about, but TikTok's also very sensitive. TikTok was sensitive first, and then, now Meta's on that same page. But I used to get red flagged on TikTok for saying accountant because they had it tied to sex workers when everyone said that they're an accountant, spicy accountant. You can't say no spicy. You can't put the chili pepper emoji.
Girl.
Nothing fun anymore.
Mm-mm.
It's over.
I remember people talking about this. Her name is Survive the Club. Her name's Chase, but her Instagram is Survive the Club. And she was always been very on the laws and stuff. And she was telling me how days like this would be. And I'm like, girl, you're crazy. I don't need your negativity. She was right. The things that we used to get away with posting and then now are insane. You would never even think.
It's very sensitive. And I'm seeing more clients and creators getting shut down every day. People are gone, then they're back, then they're sometimes back. Everyone has backup accounts going, but it's definitely a different climate.
Subject, please.
We're moving on. Just wanted to something that we deal with as far as working adjacent to the adult industry, though. That's
if you're not using social media to build, what are your other aspects and options?
Man, I literally don't know. Snail mail, no one answers their mail.
The phone book, really,
Yeah, they got you where they want you. I mean, I know that a lot of sex workers are on X because X is more sex work friendly. Yeah,
I mean, that makes sense, but yeah.
Yeah, I personally don't hang out there too much. I exist on there so clients can find me, and I do sometimes find clients. But as far as lead generation and where the top of the sales funnel goes, all day, TikTok and Instagram.
Really? Which one? Obviously, Instagram more.
Actually, TikTok.
Oh, good. That's good. Very nice.
Yeah, so people find me on TikTok first, but then they're I feel like where I really close them and convert them is on Instagram. Hang out in my stories, join my channel. You see me more day to day. TikTok's more, honestly, I'm doing some crazy shit.
Introduction.
Yes. Mm-hmm. It's like the appetizer. It's hey, here I am. I exist.
Yes, I exist. And then they're let me see what you're about. Yeah, definitely. It's the reference.
Yes. But where a lot of people are finding us now is Chat GPT.
Interesting.
Yes. Yes. I think they're pulling the FAQ section from our website because people are yeah, I Googled OnlyFans accountant or accountant for exotic dancers and ChatGPT told me you.
Have you asked who? I know you are on ChatGPT.
I mean, I am. I'm a user, but it's pulling the website up, I guess.
No, have you asked your name? Who is da-da-da-da?
No, I don't want to know.
No, I did it. It was fabulous.
Did it say?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah. It was a fabulous reference.
You're I approve.
Wow, this is interesting. Yeah. It's pretty crazy.
Oh, interesting. I'll have to check that out.
Yes, you should. I recommend everyone doing it.
All right, everyone, go ChatGPT yourselves. Google is out. ChatGPT is in.
I got my ass handed to me for posting. I feel sometimes the standards are so I get it, but you guys, we're just regular people too in a regular world. We can't just be holier than thou and not touch on anything.
So someone was
upside my head for posting that AI video of those two old ladies holding hands. But I will say, this demographic sometimes are very obsessed with one thing and they're oh, no. And then it's it doesn't even matter 6 months later. You know what I'm saying? And no one's offended anymore. It's
it's hard to make everyone happy when you're dealing with the masses.
To be grounded, rooted, I would say, within yourself, because you're only canceled if you give up. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I think that's true. I think it's the same also with growing a business. You can effectively scale and grow a business assuming you don't quit. How many times could you have quit? Should you have quit? Was there the opportunity to quit when building this?
I'll tell you this. We've had the same amount of Instagram followers for 2 years. Our traction has tripled over 2 years. Our numbers. There's little things that you pay attention to that don't really matter. What matters is the results. You know what I'm saying?
And going back to the big picture.
Mm-hmm. You can't get stuck in the little things, the how or the what if. It's such a waste of energy because you're going to if you don't let anything like stop you from going through it, going for it, because even if you go for it and you don't get what you want, there's other things that you're gonna get by just going. You know what I'm saying? Like going for it.
Yeah, there's other things that could happen that you didn't even see coming just from I just wrote a blog post about making your own luck. What do you think about that? Do you think that you're lucky or do you think that you make your own luck?
You have to open up yourself to new experiences to like, I think there's like a narrative we all give ourselves with, oh, this is how it's going to be. Da, da, da. Well, maybe not right now. Maybe just do something you wouldn't do. You would do differently. Like those are the times when you meet the people, like the breakthroughs happen. It's just like, and that's what like, I know it sounds so cliche, but it's kind of what like life is about as I'm learning, as I'm getting older. Like it's about switching it up for different results, to be in a different place. Like, why the fuck not?
I so agree. And I think that's a great place to end it. A little, okay, like a little spot of inspiration. It's been 30 minutes. I want to be respectful of our listeners' attention span and my own, to be honest.
Right?
Because that's about.
Girl, my trick is hitting. Okay, I'm like, let's do another hour.
Yeah. The French 75 is gone. I'm still working on my margarita here, but this has been a really fabulous and authentic conversation, which is the goal. So again, I appreciate your time. I literally just hit you up 2 days ago. I'm like, hey, I'm coming to LA if you want to have a little podcast chat on AirPods.
It's always good vibes when I see you, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're so authentic. I think that like identify with so much of like, even when I first met you, I identified so well with you because I get it. Where like it's the vision.
And I appreciate that. And I feel like you're like a big sister out here. I'm like, my God, there's someone out here who's doing this too. Like,
I can be big sister, but like maybe younger sister.
we're actually like the same age. She's like, thanks for listening to Cash Content and Chaos. If you had fun, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share this episode with someone who would love it too. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at TikTok at _only_consultant. And I'm also on X at The Only Consult. I will be back with more real talk on money, entrepreneurship, and life to remind you that you don't have to figure it out all alone. Be well, guys.